Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. I'm Achan Shujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. I intend to come online and sharing some of the thoughts and a guiding to go into insight and come out from the stress or reduce stress that we all facing in everyday this isolation time and social distance time. Today we have a very good weather in the morning, and then later on it was a little windy, and still in the afternoon was wonderful weather, beautiful sunshine, warm weather. And suddenly wind came and hailstone falls, and now again got cold. So weather changes every day, every moment. We cannot predict what sort of a weather we're going to have. There is a possibility that some good weather coming to in this weekend, but again you never know, particularly the Scottish weather. As the weather changes, so does our feelings, our moods changes too. Particularly in this time of the crisis and everyone is locked down and confined into the very small space. Some already had begun feeling bored and also finding nothing to do, and particularly those who have kids, children. Children need a lot of activities, and not having a space to play around, not having a space to work around can cause a frustration in children. And this frustration again is not just in children, but also in a family too. Sometimes probably family or a father and mother would like to have some little rest, but children are still energetic and trying to work and trying to play, sort of things. But you cannot let them out from the house or meet with the friends or take them to the park. So that's another cause, and causes the frustration and anxiety and problem. Further, there are a number of people, they have to work from home, taking the office to the home, working from home. And I believe that in the past you may have, those who are working from home now, you may have some thoughts that you don't have to go to work in an office, but rather would like to have it working from home. And now this is the time you have expected, and now you're working from home. But if you have a children, then you can find that how difficult working from home is. One, you have to work with what you're responsible for, the duties that you have to fulfill. And in the meantime, because you're at home, nobody's watching, nobody's monitoring, then there is tendency that you want to do something else. And if you have a children, then again, children always ask or need your attention. And because you are at home and children needs attention, and if you are not paying any attention to them, then again that causes another trouble. Or maybe children will say, Mama or Father doesn't love me. And this, I have seen the stories and I have heard the stories. Last night I got a message from one of our devotees saying that he's working from home now and he's supposed to be more comfortable and happy. But because he has got the child, and meantime he has to work with, and always he's needing the attention, and causes a very difficult time, and frustration, anger. And in the meantime, feeling sorry that she could not pay any attention to her own child, despite of having close to. So in those situations, then again, there will be a conflict or dilemma within yourself that what should I do? Should I do the office work? Should I do a homework? Should I play with the children? And that's another kind of stress. And then in the meantime, there is another group of people that we can find that they are working on a front line, like NHS staffs, police, postmen, working in the supermarkets and in the productions. They're all working. And I spoke with one of the girls that how she is coping with. She's working in a supermarket, and she said that when she went to the work on a bus, only one or two people on a bus, and they were very careful about it. And then when they go to the supermarket again, they have a fear too, fear of having this virus infection, and yet they're still brave enough to go and work and to keep the continuity of the society going on. And these sort of stories that we can hear again and again these days. And not only these two working things, but also we can see in the past, before the coronavirus came or spread, this pandemic, there are already stories of isolation, loneliness in our society. I remember working with people in Aberdeen and working and knowing people. I've heard so many stories, a feeling of a loneliness and feeling of isolation, and now this is the time again. How do they feel? So they are already isolated, and now again it will increases their feeling of isolation. And in these situations, what we can do, we have to think of that what I can do to help others, helping by yourself and then helping others. As I mentioned yesterday, that I am okay, you are okay. So this is the fourth type of people that we have to develop within ourselves. And that's again coming out from our heart and then helping people. So lending our hands to helping others. Whatever ways that you can support, whatever ways that you can encourage them to not to feel the isolation and loneliness. You may text to find out how he's doing, how she is doing, how are you, it's a good weather. Just simple few texts can cheer him up that he or she is not lonely, that someone is always caring. Last night again I got a message from one of my friends on the social media saying that there are some people might be going hungry in nights. In those situations, if they need something to eat, we should be there to support. And that's why I have also shared the message saying that if you need something to eat in the night, and do not go hunger, just text me, so then we will try our best to help. Whatever we have, we can share and eat together. So these sort of things going on, and this sort of a situation, we need to work together and then helping each other. But the most important is, rather than waiting help from others, helping ourselves, knowing ourselves, understanding ourselves. That's why I've been always encouraging our members to practice meditation, because this is the meditation time. That this is the time that you can use all the techniques and all the skills of a meditation to relax yourself, to feel free and connected within. And this connection, again, you're connecting to your home base, your core, your primary object. So having this primary object is basically we are creating home base where we can settle down our mind, where we can settle our mind down. I've given a simile for this, that it doesn't matter how beautiful this hotel when we go to holidays, it doesn't matter how beautiful that space and that place is. End of the day, after a couple of days or a week later, we will think of our own bed. Probably it's old and stinky, but still we feel so cozy. We want to come back and sit down and relax. So very moment when we come back from our holidays, what we normally do, we relax and we feel safe and we feel so comfortable. So the home is a place where our heart is. And that's same in the practice of a meditation. We're not just having a comfortable of our physical body, but our mind too. We need to keep our mind a base, a home base. So we're creating a home base for our mind. And whenever these stories comes up, whenever these stress and anxiety comes up, then the death roll is increasing day by day, increasing the number of positive results. And when we are following these news, can cause a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. And those moments, what all I'm inviting you to do is just to leave everything aside and connect with your home base. The breath rising, falling, the breath rising, falling. Nothing else. And relax. When you relax with this, in your base, in your home base, what happens? You feel secure. You feel so calm. You feel so comfortable. When you look at the Buddha's teachings, Buddha said again and again that when we contemplate on a bodily contemplation, it's like you are calm, you are peace. It's like everything is coming to end here in this very moment, here and now, with this body and the mind. It's like a big ocean that comes, that joins by all the rivers from different places. So this body is like a giant ocean. All the nerve system and everything is coming and matching, everything coming and joining together. So when we realize this body in this present moment here and now, what a wonderful thing. And this body is the home base that we're connecting, embracing and relaxing. So you don't have to do much. Simply just connecting with your body. Just feeling and hugging to yourself and telling to yourself, darling, I love you. Darling, you're so beautiful. You're so handsome. You're just feeling the appreciation of yourself. Forget about all the things and just connect within and knowing, feeling, oh, you're so gorgeous. You're so beautiful. You're so great. You're smiling to yourself and connect. And this is the resting place. This is the home base. And this is a place that we can feel secure. And this is the only place which is here and now. So bring your mind connecting, simply connect. I have a simile, or I have this acronym for this practice called a road, right? So as we are practicing by paying attention to the home base, the breath rising, falling, and during this time our mind is not used to with it, so that's why our mind will just goes off thinking of something else, again and again. Particularly this time we're thinking of COVID-19, how many people are affected, how many people are died in this country or in the world, like that. So constantly our mind will go and think about it. In this situation, simply realize that your mind is thinking of something, right? So realization, realizing that your mind is thinking rather than being with the body. And do not create any negativities towards it, or do not go along with that thought, observing it objectively. So observing this mind which is thinking about something, or let's say the COVID-19. So observing that, okay, now I am thinking of COVID-19. Acknowledging that, you see. When you're observing, we're observing objectively rather than subjective. Rather than bringing that into our mind and developing this stress and anxiety, which is the cause for the decrease of immunity in our body. But we are simply observing objectively and acknowledging that action that we are taking. So consciously aware of this action of observation. Right? And then disconnecting from this link. So disconnect from this thought, and then back to the present moment, here and now, this body at this present moment, aware of the breath, in breath and out breath. So always being aware of this bodily contemplation. So breath rising, falling, rising, falling. So remember, in order to come out from this thought process, or this roaming into the thought process, the road, yeah, the road, R-O-A-D. R stands for realization, O stands for observation, objectively, A stands for acknowledgement, so acknowledging that observation, and then D for disconnect. So disconnecting from that thought and connecting within in this present moment. Okay? So as you connect within, in that moment, what you always doing is, in your day-to-day life, suppose you are working from your home, feel that everything that you are doing is your time. Playing with the children is your time. Working in your office is your time. Working in your home is your time. Homeworks is your time. Never think that I have to give time to children. I have to give time for the office work. I have to give time for the homework. I remember this, that Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, the famous Zen master, said, when you are washing a plate, washing the plate. Right? Washing the plate, nothing else. And then he also mentioned a story that a father and a child, the father always thought that he has to manage a time to his child. And then he simply said, why don't you think that the child's time is your time too? And that simply this changing this small view helps to relax and enjoy, and then ability to do everything in the present moment with a comfortable and relax, with a mindful way. And that's also same with your fear, that you have to go to work in a different front lines, then again enjoying that. Yes, it is good that you have a fear, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to work. And those who are living in isolation, again, you need to generate this loving kindness to yourself and the loving kindness to others. As I mentioned yesterday, I am okay, you are okay too. So this form of mentality, if we can maintain, what happens is we are thinking of the good of others and then good of ourselves too. Okay? But most importantly, what I am stressing here is connecting within and enjoying the moment that we have in this small house. Yeah? In this small house. Simply relax yourself and connect with this body. Embrace this body, feeling this body, giving a big hug to this body, appreciating this body with the help of the breath. Breathing in, rising, falling. Breathing out, falling. Right? Rising, falling. Rising, falling. And whenever this thought comes, simply use the acronym ROAD. Realize, observation, acknowledgement, and disengage or disconnect. And with this, what will happen is we will be able to enjoy the moment that we have, and also simply we are connecting within. This connection will help to realize ourselves, and then also we will be able to channel this realization into others. We appreciate how much people have done to keep us safe, and that again we are keeping ourselves safe too by isolating, living inside home, staying home. And this home, staying home, not just the physically staying at home, but what I'm saying is to stay in a home mentally. And to stay in a home mentally, our mind needs a home base, and that home base is the primary object that we are working. And this primary object is a home base. Okay, this primary object is a home base, and that is related to the breath. And you simply sit down, connect with your body, relax yourself, and then working with your home base. Breathing in, rising, breathing out, falling. Breathing in, rising, breathing out, falling. So simply like this. So continuously working with this home base, and as you become comfortable with it, and you become familiar with it, and every time when something happens, you will be able to connect within and enjoy. Okay, so I offer this as a reflection, as also a guidance for tonight, and in a few moments we will have evening chanting. I invite you to join with our evening chanting. You may not have a chanting book, or you may not have the right book that we chant here, but if you have any chanting books, then spare some time and do the chanting for 10-15 minutes, whichever time you have, and then after that you can meditate as I have guided you to meditate. That's simply connecting with your body, connecting and then finding the home base and relax, and using the ROAD acronym to realize and to deal with any distractions that comes to you. Okay, so until then, see you next time, and you can follow the center's Facebook, and I will try my best to come online again and again to boost your practice and also help you to deal with this isolation, and also encouraging one another to helping each other. So that's why I again at the end would like to say that our center's motto is